Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are Group 4 of MSA1 for SBT3023 Food Processing Technology Laboratory in second semester of academic session 2019-2020. This is experiment 4, spray drying. Our group, which is Group 4 of MSA1, consists of 6 members, and these are the members of our group. The outline are introduction, objective, methods and method, expected result, and references. First is introduction. Drying is a process of isolating liquid from wet medium, and there are a lot of drying processes, and one of them is spray drying. Spray drying is the transformation of feed from liquid form to dried form, which is powder, by spraying the food into hot drying medium, and then the moisture is quickly vaporized from droplets and leave residue of dry solid particles. Later, they will be separated from the gas stream by separator, and in this experiment, Mohd solution will be used as the liquid feed and the process of spray drying will be observed. The objectives of this experiment are: first, to understand the unit operation of spray drying, and second, to determine the effects of spray drying parameters on product quality. The materials that will be used for these experiments are milk powder and water. Obviously, the machine that will be used is spray drying machine. These are the parts of spray drying machine with their function. First is drying chamber. It contains an atomizer with compressor, air blower, and air heater. The liquid feed is dried in it, and the normal air will be supplied from air blower and heated in a heater. Then the atomizer will disperse solution into gas in form of mist. The second part is cyclone separator, which it recovers dried solid particles from gas stream, and the separation is done by rotating air. The function of feed tube is to supply liquid feed, and then the collection bottle is the place where the recovered milk will be accumulated. The next part is collection pipe, which is to collect waste from drying chamber, and the exhaust pipe is to remove air and water vapor, and then the peristaltic pump is to move liquid feed to other chamber. The method for this experiment are: first, 50 grams of milk powder will be weighted and put into a beaker. Then into the beaker, 950 grams of water will be added to prepare a 5% weight milk solution, and the powder will be dissolved thoroughly. After that, the spray dryer will be started by turning hot air blown on. The heater will be adjusted and the temperature of hot air will be noted. Then the dryer will be allowed running for 10 to 15 minutes. The dryer will be ran with prepared milk solution for a fixed atomized pressure until the product is received. Finally, the dryer will be ran with distilled water for 10 to 15 minutes. This is an example of how spray drying device works for this experiment. Firstly, the milk solution sample and distilled water will be placed in containers, which then will be put onto the spray dryer. The feed tubes then will be put into the sample and distilled water each. Then the peristaltic pump will be closed and the connections at the nozzle will be checked. After that, for safety and precaution, all joints of glass parts must be ensured that they are all tightly sealed. Just then, the instrument will be switched on. Next, the aspirator rate is going to be set. And then the aspirator is turned on. The inlet temperature is also going to be set. And after that, the heater is engaged. At this time, we have to wait until the inlet temperature is reached, which in this example is 140 degrees Celsius. Followingly, the spray gas will be adjusted. And the pump speed also will be adjusted. Then the pump will be switched on. Then the nozzle cleaning frequency will be set. Now the distilled water is going to be sprayed and the feeding will be done via the pulsation feed pump. As soon as the solvent starts evaporating, the outlet temperature will be decreased. Just then, as soon as all parameters are on stable level, the feed will be switched from the distilled water to milk solution sample feeding. The sample performance must be checked to verify optimal sample input throughout the procedure. And now the spray drying process will take place. The droplets will be dried out in the cylinder, then the dry particles will be transferred into the cyclone separator where they will be separated by centrifugal forces and will be accumulated in the collection vessel. After the milk solution will be completely sprayed, the feed will be removed from the sample flask or container and the valve will be switched back to the distilled water for cleaning. The tubings and nozzle will be rinsed. After rinsing, the tube will be removed from the solvent and both containers also will be removed from the spray dryer. Then the pump heater and aspirator will be turned off. After that, the spray gas also will be switched off. And now the device will be shut down. Finally, the collection vessel will be removed and will be closed with a plastic cup or any other containers. Until then, the process will be finished. Expected result. It is expected that the milk solution can be successfully dried and formed into powder by this spray drying experiment, and the quality of end products will be influenced by the spray drying parameters. And then, the moisture content of powder obtained is expected to be between 3% to 4%. With operation conditions such as air inlet temperature of 180 degrees Celsius and maximum air pressure, with variable in air flow rate and feed rate, the yield in percentage can be calculated with the formula weight of product obtained divided with original weight of milk and multiply with 100%. It is expected that the yield percentage of recovered milk powder will be in range of 50% to 90%, and the ideal size particle will be between 10% to 50%. This is the expected product from this experiment, and it is expected that the effect of feeding rate in amount of recovered powder milk is when the feed rate increases, the amount of recovered milk powder will be reduced. Then, if higher feed rate is done with a shorter time, the powder will have brighter color than powder under longer time exposure and lower feed rate. Next, when air flow rate increases, the particle size of milk powder will be decreased. Finally, it is expected that there is no influence of air flow rate on product yield will be found. Now we move on to the principles of spray drying. Spray drying is one of the dehydration methods, and the basic principle is atomizing the food where it is preferably preheated and concentrated to form droplets which are directed to the drying chamber. This is where they are mixed with a current of hot air. Later, the food particles lose moisture and dry into fine powder. It is widely used for heat-sensitive foods. While the influence parameters of the quality of end products by spray drying include inlet drying air temperature, feed flow rate, atomization air flow rate, and aspiration rate. This is the reference used for this experiment. That's all from our group for spray drying experiment. Thank you.